Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's session of the Interstellar Insights Webinar Series. It's inspired by my latest book, What's Space Got to Do with It? An Interstellar Guide to Success. This book is designed as a four-part journey through the pillars of success: leadership, awareness, access, and action. Each pillar translates insights from the global space ecosystem and practical strategies for growth, innovation, and impact. This is across boundaries, industries, and even backgrounds. Today, we turn to Chapter 6, Access, Driving Visionary Thinking Through Entrepreneurship. This chapter is about more than launching companies. It's about launching possibilities, transforming bold ideas into real world outcomes. At its heart, entrepreneurship is a mindset, one that sees potential where others see limits and builds pathways where none exist. Our featured guests today exemplify that spirit, from redefining how governments deliver services to building global platforms that empower startups and artists. They've shown that entrepreneurship is a powerful force for access, innovation, and lasting change. Today, we'll explore what it means to move from vision to venture and how courage, creativity, and conviction fuel the journey. So let's dive in. Let's start by introducing our amazing guests. We're honored to welcome John Kohiro Maorikawa, known around the world as Crazy John. As the founder and CEO of Silicon Valley Ventures and director of Startup Grind Japan, he empowers entrepreneurs across boundaries through creativity, strategy, and bold action. From venture advising to the arts, John brings a multidimensional approach to shaping the future of innovation. Welcome, John. We'd love to hear a little bit more about you.
Thank you so much, Shelli, for inviting me here as a speaker. I'm so honored to be here today. My name is John Kojiro Moriwaka. People call me Crazy John. Actually, John is my global name, and Crazy John is my nickname. And Kojiro means happy second son in Japanese, and Moriwaka means young first. So each of one of my names have meanings, and also make the world crazier and to make the world a better place. My hobby is actually traveling around the world and also working with crazy people for great impact on the societies. So I was one of the youngest professors when I was age 33. Now just age 43 years old. And now I'm an advisor of 10 different venture capitals around the world, 12 different startups in different industries. And so I love to work with crazy people. Thank you so much today.
Well, thank you so much, John. That's wonderful. And we're so excited that you're able to join us. Next, we're joined by Shreya Mukherjee, a rising leader at the intersection of technology, public service, and purpose driven innovation. As a software engineer and a member of the Global Shapers Sydney, a World Economic Forum initiative, she's helping redefine how government engages communities through thoughtful, human centered solutions. Shreya brings a unique lens on how access and impact can be designed from the inside out. Shreya, we look forward to hearing more about your journey.
Um, my name is Shreya, and I come from a background in politics and technology. And my passion is really about how can we use technology to empower governments and the public sector to be at its best and help people access services and really redefine what it means to deliver and help people in a modern world through technology. And I'm so excited to share more about that initiative and chat more about how entrepreneurship gives access to young people. So thank you so much for having me here.
Excellent. And before we keep going, I wanted to make sure, are you all hearing me okay? Or are there any glitches in our audio?
The- I can hear you okay. There's
Okay.
some glitch in the video, so
Okay.
your
Well,
video pause.
let's just fix that right now. Perfect. So we'll do a quick real-time fix, and hopefully that has improved the video. Has that helped to improve it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can also hear you perfectly, but sometimes your video stops.
Okay. So hopefully we've resolved some of that. So as we continue on, and we're very authentic, as you can tell, sometimes in the world we have technology glitches. So we have multiple forms of backup, which is really important in the space industry. You want to have backup. So, as we think about this, I want to thank both of you for being here. And before we dive into today's theme around entrepreneurship and access, I'd love to begin with some foundational thinking. Every journey into innovation begins with a deeper story, one shaped by values, vision, and turning points along the way. So, to begin, I'd love to hear each of your leadership journeys. How did you get to where you are? Share a little bit with our audience, some of those pivotal points. So, John, I'd love to start with you.
Sure. Where should I start? How many years old was? So maybe my first entrepreneur journey started from when I was age 3 years old. So before going kindergarten, I was eating, enjoying my mom's breakfast, and I wanted to share this very delicious Japanese food to my neighbors. So I went to talk to my neighbor. He gave me the lunchbox. Went back to my house, put all like leftover foods perfectly. Went back to see him, and then he actually gave me $10 notes. So that took me within like 20 minutes, and I was before 3 years old. Since then, I wanted to make people happy by giving first, and then this is like part of my actually philosophy that give people first, and then don't really take, and customers decide their actually value and give me money back. So that was like my first success in my business career. Since then, I was start to help my uncle's restaurants business, and remembering people's names, actually customers' names, and saying thank you. And I was asking them what kind of like occasions they are visiting our restaurants. And I was also helping my father's business, selling medical machines. So for also my father was telling customers are God. So we treat this is like maybe really weird in the Western society. Customers are God. I think like customers and also provide service providers are equal in the West culture. But Japanese culture, we still believe customers are God. So treat customers. Now new generation Z actually really think differently, but we treat customers very high ranked. And I also studied economics and commerce at the Sydney University in Australia. But before that, I actually failed 20 universities in Japan. I got kicked out from Japan to Australia to study. Then after studying in Sydney, I was also helping my friends event management company, the hip hop record company, then work for my family business, then went to Harvard Business School, then moved to Silicon Valley, then travel around the world to understand more businesses deeply. And now I am to advisor for many venture capitals and startups.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know there's a lot more to that, and we'll have some more questions to help unpack it. Shreya, we'd love to hear a little bit about your leadership journey as well and some of those pivotal experiences.
Yeah, similar to John, I started when I was about 10 years old, a little bit later on. But I remember being 10 and just wanting to just create things with my hands. So I would create like scrunchies and loom bands and then would sell them to friends and that kind of kick started my entrepreneurship journey. And then since then, it's just been a process of trying to add value to people's lives through the things that I can create, and see problems and find solutions to those problems. So when I was about 17 years old, I started creating like education programs and textbooks for my friends, and like distributing that across the our school. And that kind of, I guess, opened up the bounds that entrepreneurship isn't, I guess, this really big thing that is barriered to people that are a lot later, along their journey, and it's not something that is um, withheld from anyone from trying. And so it's really all about solving problems and trying to find a way to add value to people's lives. And so that mindset was really important to unlocking a lot of the decisions that I made along my journey. And when after I left high school, I started a computer science degree and really loved getting into the depths of how technology was built. And at that time, I joined a few startups and really through that process understood and loved building companies from the ground up and then launching into my own entrepreneurship journey. And really building out technology for governments has just been kind of a segue into continuously just trying to solve problems and finding a solution that would help people accelerate their lives and add value to their lives.
That's fantastic. I think what both of you said is amazing is that entrepreneurship isn't this big barrier to entry. I mean, it could be if you want to build a rocket company, but at the end of the day, entrepreneurs want to be problem solvers. You want to solve problems for people. Like you said, John, it's really about that customer focus. And Treya, you found a way of looking at technology to help solve problems. So I think that's amazing. Let's kind of jump into some of the questions, and that will help peel some of your insights back. Each question is designed through a theme. So I'll share the theme and then I'll ask the question. So our first theme is about access through action. So, chapter 6 emphasizes that entrepreneurship is a mindset, one that builds access, not just businesses. So, can you share how your work has helped open doors for others and why access is such a driving force in your mission? Shreya, I'd love to start with you.
Of course, access is so important because it allows you to gain the tools and the knowledge to be able to have the resources to create an impact yourself. And so, access in any journey and in giving people around you, whether it's your team members, whether it's your co-founders, whether it's the people you meet along your journey, giving them access to knowledge and giving them access to your ability to create an impact is so important because it gives them the resources and the mindset and the ability to then be part of that journey and create an impact themselves. And that is a really empowering thing. And being able to give like kind of live in this philosophy of giving people first and no matter who you meet along the journey, aiming to help them out and giving them the access and the resources that they need to be able to accelerate their own journey is so important. And allow I think entrepreneurship is so unique in its way because it gives you access and this platform to be able to create change for the people around you, not only your customers, but also your team members. And that is just a really fundamental and unique opportunity. And I think it is a huge tool and platform that anyone can use to be able to give back to that community and give back to the people that are along their journey so that they have the access to create an impact.
Fantastic. Amazing. John, can you share how your work is helping open doors for others and give them access?
Sure. Thank you for great question, Shelly. I'm very good at making the bridge and also getting to the new countries without thinking like having barriers between me and the other countries or people or even any nationalities or re religions and or also different belief systems. So I jump into just take an airplane to go to different countries and make friends, just like we met in Davos, and keep in touch. Then giving people actually new opportunities, having a fireside chat. I'm running a startup grind, Tokyo, now we have Fukuoka chapter. So I invite Shelly as a special speaker. Then you could access to our community. Then we learn from you. And then now you invite me to this space, amazing new book release launch online party. And so like we actually give people actually new opportunity, invite people to our world, and then friends we become friends, and the friends invite me to the new world and meet more different friends. And today I met Shelli, and now many people watching this, and so we actually give people access to the new world, introduce ourselves and the new friends and the families and also business partners. So always like making the bridge, giving access to everybody is very important. And then we can make a global like innovation ecosystems together. So making the access is the most variable and important, and for making friends globally.
Absolutely. And I think what you highlighted is it's an intention. You and I met at the World Economic Forum. We stayed in touch. We found ways that we could create access together. Shreya, you and I met while I was in Sydney doing a program for the U.S. State Department. You invited me to join your event, which is for Changemakers in Sydney, which is also part of the World Economic Forum. So we all share that in common. And hopefully today's talk will now have more opportunities to create access. So, as we pivot to the next question, though, it's about overcoming obstacles and defying convention. You know, a lot of times when people see social media posts or they see webinars, they only see the positive side. They only see how life is great and everything is perfect. So I know both of you have faced some resistance. You mentioned it already, John, about getting into universities. So whether from traditional institutions or societal expectations, how do you push past those roadblocks? And what advice would you give to others who feel underestimated or discouraged? So, John, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you for the also good question again, Sherry. And I didn't do well when I was a kid, so I failed. I was super hyperactive and always making friends, but I didn't study much, and I didn't know the purpose of studying, why I had to study, and also I didn't like the school systems. I was also asking so many weird questions to teachers. Why do I need to study math? Why need to study Japanese language? And why I cannot go to gym first, or why I cannot bring a dog to the school? Dog is my family. So people thought I was a crazy kid. But I failed. I failed junior high school, and university exams, and but I was very popular among friends. So I was doing socially good, but not academically good. So then my parents believe the destiny. They met new friends in the restaurant. They are actually professors from Queensland universities. So my dad said, believe in your path, and also believe this is a destiny, and they can guide you, and this is a sign for the future. So go to Australia, believe in them, and also believe in yourself. So I was like, I believe in my dad, but he also, unfortunately, underestimated me. He said, stay in Queensland, and also he was telling me this his advice was the best for me. But I appreciate, but I was thinking maybe there Sydney could be more opportunity than Brisbane. So nobody told me, but I kind of felt, and maybe London or maybe New York. So I was always doubting and questions whatever my teachers or parents told me. So I was trying to figure out what is the best for me. What is actually my emotion actually really excite me. So I moved to Sydney and went to see Sydney University. Just watching people how they are studying and actually serious about studies in the library. Now I talked to a few actually people why they are studying, and I was just asking random questions. Then I also fell in love with the campus, and I wanted to study about different belief systems in the global environment. And then maybe San Francisco, but maybe Sydney, because this is a multicultural city. Because Japan, grew up in Japan, I only met the Japanese friends and monoculture. So I wanted actually to be a global leader, global opinion leader. I need to make friends with different nationality, with different ideas, backgrounds. So I decided to live in Sydney just to understand people's different mindset and different culture, different religions. So I really loved Sydney, living in Sydney. And sorry, what was the question again?
It's how did you push past those roadblocks you might have had, and what advice
Oh,
would you
yes.
give to
Oh,
others?
oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, you can edit and cut my actually long part. So even like maybe you are people watching this, maybe your parents or maybe your own like partners or girlfriends or boyfriends or your bosses or your clients tell you no to you, but maybe no means yes. So you can actually even everyone against you in the world, you can actually decide what you have to do for yourself first. And also believing yourself and having a confidence that you can do it. Impossible is possible. So, and then you can decide if your emotion says yes, and it's not like a taking drugs or bad things, but if your emotion says yes and excites you, so you can do it. You can learn in the different environment. You can try new business. You can do new research. So and then, firstly, emotion is very important. Excitement is most important. Then you can think with your brain. So if your heart is booming, that means yes. And then you can try it. Then later on, you can think logically. So that's how I make quick decisions. If I really want to go with my eyes, if I want to see it, I just take an airplane to a different country, make new friends. And then later on, I think for logically for the business strategy. Is it
That's
answering the question?
That's fabulous. I think what's really great is we're talking about chapter 6, but chapter 1 is about self leadership. And you talked a lot about that, John, because self leadership is where it really starts. Understanding yourself. What are you passionate about? Where do you want to go? And you highlighted that. It's about your passion and your desire and what do you want to accomplish. Yes, you're going to get lots of inputs from mentors and role models, but ultimately, that first step is about self leadership and understanding yourself. So I think you did a great job talking about creating access and reinforcing that everybody should read chapter 1 about self leadership. So thank you. And I know you haven't had a chance to read the book yet, but now you know that you've talked really great about self leadership. Shreya, I kind of want to ask you the same question. How did you push past roadblocks in your life, and what advice would you give to others who feel underestimated or maybe discouraged?
Yeah, definitely. I think to open, it's really important to acknowledge and understand that when you're doing something that's different, you'll probably be called crazy or be underestimated or just feel out of place in society. And when you're doing something that is different and against the grain of what society is deemed as normal, those things are very normal. Like those characteristics and the feeling underestimated is just part of the journey and it's normal. And so yeah, like I guess growing up, I was a computer science kid in government and then also a political nerd in computer science. And so in both my worlds, I was kind of out of place and different. And then when I committed to the mission of using technology to boost governments and I would kind of share that mission or I talk to different people and start the journey. I was definitely seen as crazy and was seen like was underestimated and told no a lot of times that it wouldn't work, that it just wasn't going to happen. And I think along that journey of facing those roadblocks and facing kind of this feeling of like having doors slammed in your face, you start like for me, I realized that that is just inherent to the journey and that is just part of the journey. And this philosophy of when you're doing something that's hard and that's never been done before, you are going to meet a lot of resistance and you are going to face a lot of roadblocks. And you will inherently be told that you aren't going to make it or that it's not going to work. But you, in that process of being told no, and in that process of facing those roadblocks, you must have unwavering confidence and belief in yourself to make it work, because you are doing something that's hard, and that is going to take time, and that is going to take consistent effort and energy from you and your team to make it work. And so pushing past those roadblocks and pushing past that resistance through your own belief in yourself and your mission is so important. So my, I guess, advice is that no matter what anyone tells you, if you have this really strong conviction in what your idea is and what your problem that you're solving is, and your perspective of the world, do everything in your power to push past those roadblocks and show up consistently every single day. It's not going to be solved in one day, and the mission that you're trying to solve is not going to magically kind of be solved really quickly. But if you keep showing up consistently every single day and having that conviction and having that drive, piece by piece, those roadblocks are going to disappear, and you're going to be able to make that mission into a reality. So keep going, keep having belief in yourself, and you will see your mission come to fruition.
I think that's excellent advice for anyone setting out on a journey, especially entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship can be very challenging. It requires resilience. It's hard to raise funding, especially, Shreya, you're talking about technological advancements. I'm in the space industry. John understands space as well. A lot of times, those type of things are very challenging technologically. They take time, they take resources, and many times people are doubtful of why you're trying to accomplish it. So I think both of you highlighted excellently that you're going to have to lean outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have confidence and trust that what you're doing is the right thing. And as John said, have passion in the heart because that will carry you through the journey. Incredible. As we
Yeah.
pivot to, oh, go ahead.
So can I add
Of course, of
say
course.
point? Yeah, the thank you, Sharia, for actually remind me and inspire me. I wanna add more my comments. So even people say no to you, and people think it's impossible, and even some kind of, yeah, some part of yourself saying, "Oh, this is difficult, very difficult to do this business or difficult to get into this university." Doesn't matter. More difficult actually excite me or excite you. So, harder actually, harder thing is actually not many people try to go to the top. So you can just try to claim on the top. It's actually less competitors. And also not many people try to go to the top. So actually try to work harder and also dream that you can actually visualize you are already actually achieved your goal. So I was also, I as I said, when I was 18, I failed 20 universities. I couldn't speak English or anything. But after about 2 years later, I live in Brisbane and Sydney. I entered Sydney University, and very bad English, but the poor students actually 5 subjects, and I study hard only 5 hours a day, but just study constantly every day. And then after 2 years, actually I could achieve. And also now doing so many different business with so many different new business with very difficult projects. But if you have a great global team, global advisor, global co-founders, you can actually achieve things. So you are not alone in the entrepreneur journey. Entrepreneurship is actually all about how how you make friends globally and how you build a team, how you build products for people. So you are not alone, and make friends, and then do uh, visualize your dream and constantly work together. And then you can, I think you can achieve anything with your friends.
Absolutely. It's about building those people around you. Like you said, Trey, you're going to have a lot of people who say no, but how do you find the people who help you bolster you and continue to encourage you on? So that's excellent. And you're free to jump in at any time and share more thoughts. So I'm going to pivot to our third main topic, which is creating purpose. So your ventures aren't just successful, they're intentional. How do you personal how do your personal values shape the innovations you create? And how can entrepreneurship stay grounded in purpose while navigating growth and complexity? So Shreya, I'm going to start with you about your entrepreneurial journey and that purpose you have.
Yeah, I think the way that I like to think about it is that business is not like a 1 or 2 year journey. Like entrepreneurship is this 10, 15, 20 year journey. And really it's just integrated with who you are. And you are your company and you are your business. And so the values that you hold as so core to who you are is so important to be translated across the business that you're building. And being able to navigate those challenges in the midst of growth and in the midst of complexity is so important to grounding you to what's important. So values of empathy, creativity, innovation, drive, and like hard work is so important to align that to your personal values when growing your company. And fundamentally, in the beginning, you are your business. And so staying true to who you are and not losing yourself in the process of building a company is so important to creating that sustainable growth and being able to ensure that you're building a business that is true to who you are and is something that is aligned to your personal fulfillment and your passions and your vision for the world is so important because it is this long 10 to 15 20 year journey. It's a lifelong journey, and if you're building something that is so aligned with who you are and aligned with your vision, it allows you to grow and sustainably scale your company along all of the hard kind of periods of building and being able to sustainably grow. And so it's it's so important to, I think, align what your values are and align that to the company values and being able to stay true to them despite the challenges that you face, because then you can create something that you are inherently really proud of and can create so much value for the world and so much impact in the world. And so, yeah, I think ultimately it's about ensuring that the business that you're building is aligned with your vision, because that will allow you to go much further than anyone else and allow you to push past those roadblocks and really ensure that that vision becomes the reality.
Excellent. John, I'd love to ask you that same question. Your ventures aren't just successful, they're intentional. How do your personal values shape the innovations you create? And how can entrepreneurs stay grounded in their purpose while navigating growth and complexity?
Thank you. I think like having the real vision and purpose is the most important for your action, and also motivating yourself as one of my favorite TED speakers, Tony Wagner, former actually leader, managing director of innovation Harvard Innovation Labs. He said motivating innovators is like three things, three P's. First are play, second passion, and thirdly purpose. So play, passion, purpose is important to motivate innovators. Innovator means entrepreneurs. So having a great purpose, you have to actually enjoy first. So play, and then you can find your motivate yourself, the passion, the thirdly purpose. And having these three P's, actually, you can also motivate yourself every day, and you can also motivate your teams every day, and then you can enjoy working together every day, and then you can you can make your dreams come true. So I think also believe these three P's are most important. So I'm always enjoying first and then uh, try to achieve my purpose.
That's excellent. I think that's really helpful because sometimes when you're entrepreneurs, you get so caught up in the day to day that sometimes you forget to play. And I think that's really important. My husband says that to me. I'll get so busy doing things, and then he'll be like, "Well, honey, aren't you the CEO?" Oh, yeah, I am. I guess I can, enjoy life a little bit. So sometimes we forget that important part of play when we're being entrepreneurs. Great insight. As we
Yes,
go
and
ahead, John.
also and recently I'm watching Japanese samurai like movies. And even like over 1,000 years ago, those samurai during their fight battles against their another samurai families, they still sometimes have drinks with their teams. And also, they sometimes have a green tea ceremony during the actually during the wars. So actually, people, even we are entrepreneurs, work 20 hours a day, maybe 4 hours sleep, but maybe 1 hour we can have a tea time or breakfast with the family. So even working long hours, we can have sometimes relax and also go to the gym, also meditate yourself, also watch movies or having fun with friends. And you don't need to take a rest for like 2 days off or whatever because you are crazy busy and you have to work harder than anybody else to become more successful. So, but still, you can actually have a fun and watch movie and read book or also eat healthy food or even sometimes eat McDonald's for fun or whatever. So just enjoy your life. Actually, being enjoy your life and become a happier person. I think you could be a more authentic and happy leader, and then people are actually like you more than just two serious, stressful leaders.
I think that's excellent. They have a saying where you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. So when you get on the plane, they say you have to put your oxygen mask on before someone else. So if you're not eating right, you're not exercising, you're not resting, you're not enjoying, you might not be the best entrepreneur because you're not taking care of all of you. So that's really good insight that you also have. And you don't have to do a whole day. Maybe it's just a couple hours, like you said, John. It's just enjoying those small moments. So, as we pivot to our fourth topic, the power of starting before you're ready. Innovation often requires bold action before perfect conditions. Can you share a moment when you had to take a leap before you felt ready and show that decision helped accelerate your growth? Sometimes I hear people all the time say, "Well, I need to get a degree. Oh, I need to do this first. Oh, I need to do that first." And sometimes it's like, "No, you just need to start." So, Shreya, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I started my government technology company when I was 19. And so I started long before I was ready. And I think for me, it was a lot about seeing a problem and realizing that if it's not me, where, who, and then if it's not now, when, and those ideas and those questions. And really, it's about realizing that I probably would never feel ready. And I don't think anyone feels ready to take those huge risks or take those big leaps. It's about pushing yourself through the really uncomfortable moment and those really uncomfortable risks and trusting yourself that you will learn and you will grow. And no matter how many times you fall down and how many times you fail, you will figure it out and you will find a way to make it work. And so it's this belief that entrepreneurship and life really is about pivoting and trying new things and just keeping on going despite no matter what happens. And what I found with entrepreneurship as well is that starting is really the hardest part. Once you start and once you start understanding the space that you're in, one thing always leads to another, which leads to another. And before you know it, you're making decisions and you're talking to customers and you're building technology, and things just keep on rolling after that. And it becomes a not easier, but it becomes better to just keep on scaling that momentum and keep on going. And so I always say to start before you're ready, and when it feels uncomfortable, that's when you jump. Because if you, life is always about, I guess, going through those uncomfortable moments and saying yes when it does, when it's not the right moment, and just taking a bet on yourself, because you are so capable and you are so able to kind of solve those really difficult problems, and just keep going. And so it's so important to say yes in those uncomfortable times and just keep on going. And even when you're not ready, you'll learn that in the process of doing, you become ready and you become better, and you're able to accelerate your growth and learning to then become someone who is really great at being or executing. So yeah, I would say definitely start before you're ready and really be able to trust yourself enough to make that decision and trust that you will learn and grow effectively.
Excellent. John, I'd love to hear your thoughts about starting before you're ready. Can you share a moment when you had to take that leap or that you helped encourage someone else to take that leap?
Yeah, so I thank you. I always decide very, very fast, and within like half an hour, and also people meet and having a meeting, and entrepreneur ask me within half an hour or 1 hour, they say, John, can you be my advisor? Then I usually say yes. Not all the time, but when people are actually passionate and have a purpose, I also try to make his dream uh, come true. So I will often say yes. And then, and I also, when I was younger, and I also made a decision by myself and to enter university and to work for event management company. And even my parents didn't like it. And we made a successful hip hop events in Sydney. My parents hate it. But now actually I'm running many startup events and as an ambassador of many startup events globally. And my parents really like it now. So doesn't matter what parents think. And I also really love hip hop to inspire lots of people. Also, my parents hated when I was 26, 27, start to run the hip hop record company. I met rappers on YouTube. Also, my parents disagreed. But now, after I achieved so many things in my career, my parents don't care. And even I released my song and with those rappers back then, because when I was 27 and we didn't do well to run hip hop record company, and also my rappers kicked me out from their record label, asking me to be a more serious businessman than work for my parents' business, very serious medical device business. So I didn't have time to be a rapper. But after I went to Harvard Business School, after build a successful business, age 36, I asked them, I call my rapper friend, Dirty Ray, hey, I really want to rap to inspire young people. Then he said, oh, okay, rap with me. Let's make a song together. Then we released a song, became #1 downloaded on Amazon Japan. And then my parents started to like it. So parents always worry about kids' future, but kids decide by themselves. Even parents say no. When people say no, but if you are passionate to really change the world, you can try it because your life is, you are CEO in your life. So you can make a decision. Then later on, make parents happy. So I'm always decide by myself and always find a new country or a new industry when people don't really care of their country or people. finding a real diamond before the diamond, and still I can see he or she is very shining when they have a big dream or beautiful dream. And dream, the size is like, doesn't matter big or small. If he or she really wants to make things happen, those things are most beautiful thing, beautiful, I think, diamond. So I want to shine those diamond, and also that's why my passion is traveling around the world to make new find a new diamond.
I love that. You're looking for diamonds. I love it. We're all miners. So as we pivot to the
Yes.
last, yes, we're all miners looking for diamonds. Love it. As we pivot to the last theme, which is building ecosystems, not just enterprises. So from mentorship to community building, you've both created platforms that uplift others. Why is ecosystem building such a vital part of entrepreneurship? And how can founders move from individual success to collective impact? John, I'd love to hear your thoughts because you are a big ecosystem builder.
Thank you for the great question, Shelli. And I think building an ecosystem in your region or in your country is very important. But to make your country's ecosystem or globally, you need to collaborate with another ecosystem in different countries, like sister cities for politics. But for startup ecosystems, you can also build together globally. So inviting speakers from different country, and also in Japan, most of the events are in Japanese language. But if we keep doing only in Japanese, only Japanese speakers are limited, and only Japanese people watch it. So we need to do events in English sometimes. Then some people from different countries can watch our events, and then we can have a more cross-border interaction, can actually accelerate global innovation. And startup grind origin from Silicon Valley, and we have 125 countries and 600 different chapters around the world. This is a massive community, but because of our vision is a entrepreneur first, give first, don't take, make friends, not contacts. So we share this same value with different chapter directors. The chapter directors became like kind of ambassadors or mayor of the innovation ecosystem in the each regions in 600 chapters. So we can actually build ecosystem together. Not only startup grind, there is another so many smaller events in Japan, and many different, my favorite events in the Latvia called Unblock, Fast Blockchain Conference, Family Office Conference called World Venture Forum in Austria. So I like to be part of different young entrepreneur events, or also family office events, or only venture capitalist events. So I like to participate in different events, also technologist events, also medtech events. We are running for last 11 years with Stanford Biodesign and Japanese government initiatives. And so, and also now Osaka Expo is happening. So you guys are more than welcome. It's gonna be finishing before around October, not October. So everyone is coming to Japan now. And so doing this, participating in these massive events, expo is important. But also, as I said, small events, even like a few people can, Beatles could change the world constantly. So only four men can could change the world. So having friends, important friends like a Davos, or even we can create a new Davos, and it's very important. So I think building an ecosystem is just making friends and globally. So this is the most beautiful thing, and my passion is making friends globally.
I
For actually my final aim for my life is actually for the world peace. So using technology, using business, volunteer work, or any ESG investments just for world peace. And to achieve world peace, actually, everyone has to be confident enough to achieve their own goals and their own great friends, and create new families, or also appreciate ancestors, and also contribute to where you are originally from, and also new cities you are living. So appreciating and understanding your own identity and history, then you can actually create new history together with any new friends from different, actually having different values.
That's fantastic. Well, now you have a new friend with Shreya as well. So, Shreya,
Yes.
same
Yes.
question for you. From mentorship to community building, why is ecosystem building such a vital part of entrepreneurship, and how can founders move from individual success to collective impact?
Yeah, 100%. I think the entrepreneurship journey can often feel lonely because you're kind of in this almost kind of vacuum trying to get your idea into the world. But in reality, along that journey, realizing that being around people, especially being around people who believe in you, and who are equally, building crazy things and building insane solutions into the world is so important because it's very hard to find people that think similar to you and to have kind of those in quality, like to have that unwavering belief in what you're building. And um, the power of having an ecosystem that's surrounded by entrepreneurship and impact and helping others is so important because it builds this community where people believe in each other and people believe in each other's crazy ideas. And that is so much fuel to keep going because you meet people who are like-minded, who want to also bring their vision to life and who are also facing similar challenges that you're facing. And in that journey, meeting people that are like-minded and going through similar journeys is so important in um, being able to help you keep going and um, allows you to build this community where you're helping each other out. And I love John's sentiment. It's really all about making friends that support you along the journey and equally like really allow you to feel like you belong and feel like you have kind of a group of people where you can turn to and gain support from. And so I think that really, at the end of the day, a community is about building human connection and building friendship and helping each other out. And by doing this on a individual basis, that scales to a larger community and connecting builders and entrepreneurs and investors together to create kind of this ecosystem where everyone is centered around helping each other out and helping each other thrive and keep going forward is so important in being able to boost the innovation and the entrepreneurship within our ecosystems and within the world because entrepreneurship helps solve global problems and create impact. So being able to help the people around you and um, give support to the people around you that are going on similar journeys and connecting and making friends is so important to being able to accelerate your journeys, but also everyone's journeys. And so then there's this compound effect across the community. And I think that is really powerful in being able to increase innovation and access to impact.
Awesome. Well, as we close, I'd love for each of you to share a parting thought. What's one mindset shift, a daily habit, or piece of advice you'd offer to someone ready to turn their vision into a venture, but they're unsure where to begin? John, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Thank you, Shelly. I think mindset's global mind. So go global. So don't hesitate to, only stay in your country or your hometown and making friends. Just take airplane to go different country in the place nobody knows you. Even you come from like, very wealthy family or doesn't matter, or even not the wealthy family. Just being yourself and wear normal t-shirts and just say hi to strangers. Sometimes maybe you get rejected, but sometimes if you speak in their language, you remember maybe Vietnamese or Latvian language, and then you can, or even Spanish, Buenos dias, ¿cómo está usted? Then some people might answer, and you can meet, they could be very friendly. Sometimes you get rejected, ignored, and then you understand how lucky and how you are actually loved by your hometown or your mom, and you can appreciate where you come from, and you can identify yourself, what kind of person you are, and so try new things from the different comfort zone. Go travel around the world. Maybe you can stay in a nice hotel, but sometimes maybe you can sleep on the street. So understand actually real value. What things actually make you happy? The understanding who you are, what things you like, what things you dislike, then you can actually understand what kind of business or volunteer works you want to do to make people happy, and how your actually research or your technology, your business skills can contribute to the society. So I think traveling around the world and no boundaries and is very important to understand who you are first. Then you understand what kind of people you want to make happy. So go global. Global mindset is very, very important for entrepreneurship and also make your life very happy.
I love that. And again, John, you're selling chapter one for me, which is all about that self-leadership, understanding yourself. And
Okay.
and and to understand yourself, you have to know what you like and don't like, and you have to try different things. So I think you've highlighted that people need to get out there and try things and experience life, and then they can figure out how they want to contribute. So fabulous closing thoughts. Shreya, I'd love to hear your advice that you'd love to offer to somebody who wants to turn their vision into a venture, but they're unsure where to begin.
Yeah, I would say to take the first step, and that believing, like, by believing in yourself, you're already halfway there. So take a step, take the first step, and try to understand the problem space and the ecosystem that you're wanting to build in. Once you take that first step, you're able to keep going, and you're just able to continue building that company or that venture out. And so take that first step and just keep on believing in yourself, and you will reach that goal, and you'll be able to build that venture before you know it.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank both you, John and Shreya, for those powerful stories, honest reflections, and bold perspectives. Your journeys remind us that innovation isn't reserved for the few. It's something we each have the power to create, especially when driven by purpose and persistence. So thank you so much for joining us today. I also want to highlight how you've shown us what it, oh, go ahead. Oh, okay. I wanted to highlight that you've shown us what it means to lead with authenticity, to build with intention, and to use entrepreneurship as that bridge. I think both of you have highlighted how entrepreneurship is a bridge, the global mindedness. It's not just opportunity for and it's more than just opportunity for lasting impact. It's about building that bridge, having that global mindset. So I'm deeply grateful for your time, your insights, and the inspirations you've shared with us today. For our audience, if today's conversation sparks something in you, a new idea, a renewed sense of purpose, or the courage to begin, I invite you to keep exploring. You can dive deeper into these insights in What Space Got to Do with It, an Interstellar Guide to Success. It's available on Amazon. And be sure to join us for the next episode in our Interstellar Insights Webinar Series, where we'll continue this journey through the pillars of leadership, awareness, access, and action. Until next time, I'm Shelli Brunswick, and I look forward to seeing you around the galaxy.